Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will be continuing on factorization of algebraic expressions. And this is the part 2 of this series. But just before we get started, I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Like the video, share the link with your friends, and also remember to click on the notification button. Thank you very much for your kind support. All right, let's get started. All right, so please note that in part 1 of this series, we stop at question 7. So in this part 2, we are going to start with question 8. All right, so we have question 8 here. And to solve this problem, first we are going to replace the content of the parentheses with any variable. Okay, so let's just assign a variable to the content of this. So let y to the third power plus 34 be equal to, you can choose any alphabet of your choice. So let me use P to represent that. So this will become P squared minus 49, and 49 can be written in the index form, and it will become P squared minus 7 squared. So this automatically is difference of squares, and I'm sure you are familiar with difference of squares. So this will automatically give us P plus 7 and P minus 7. All right, so at this point we can now substitute the value of P into these two factors. So remember that this is the value of P. So this is the value of P here. So we are going to substitute this value for P in these parentheses. So this will automatically become y to the third power plus 34, okay, plus 7, and y to the third power plus 34 minus 7. All right, so now we can combine like terms. So let's just add these two terms and also 34 minus 7. So this will be equals to y to the third power plus 34 plus 7 is 41. Okay, and also y to the third power. 34 minus 7 is 27. Okay, so now if you look at this factor, this cannot be factored any further, but over here we can write you can write this number, we can write this in the index form, and that will be 3 to the third power. So automatically this will become y to the third power plus 41 and y to the third power plus 3 to the third power. All right, so we now have sum of cube here. Sum of cube can be factored, and to do that, please recall that if you have sum of cube, take for example a to the third power plus b to the third power, this will be equal to sum of a and b times a squared minus the product of a and b plus b squared. So we can follow this pattern to factor this part of this question. So this will be equals to y to the third power plus 41. And all right, so we have y to the third power plus 3 to the third power. So automatically this will become y plus 3, because you can see if you follow this pattern, a to the third power plus b to the third power, first you are going to have a plus b. And you can also see y to the third power plus 3 to the third power. So that will become y plus 3. And after that, you have a squared. That means we are going to have y squared here minus ab. So this will become minus 3y. So 3y. And then we also have b squared here, which means that we are going to have 3 squared. And that 3 squared is 9. So plus 9. All right. So if you look at this factor here, you discover that it cannot be factored any further. Also, this cannot be factored any further, and this cannot be factored any further. All right, so you can either leave it just like this, or you can just rewrite it. If you leave it the way it is now, it's still very much correct. But if you wish to just rearrange it so that you have this first, and then y squared minus 3, y plus 9, and then y to the third power plus 41. So what we just did now is that we started with the lowest exponent of y to the to one power, y to the second power, and y to the third power. So we just arrange it from the smallest to the highest. But if you leave it the way it is now, if you leave it the way it is in this part here, is still correct. But if you just wish to rearrange it like this, it's still very much okay. So this is the final answer to this question, and I hope it makes some sense. All right, let's go on to the next question. All right, question number 9. So to solve this problem, first we are going to um, assign a value to the content of the parentheses, x plus y. So we can simply give x, well, say let x plus y be equal to p. Let's just use p to represent that. So this will become p squared minus z squared. And automatically we now have difference of squares, which can now be written as p plus z and p minus z. So at this point we can substitute the value of p back into this position, because we said let x plus y be equals to p. So let's now replace p with this with these values, and this will become x plus y plus z and x plus y minus z. All right, so if you look at the two factor now, this is x plus y plus z, and this is x plus y minus z. None of them can be factored any further. So this is the final answer to this question. And I hope this makes some sense. All right, let's go on to the next question. Question 10. All right, so we have a plus 5 in parentheses squared minus y squared. So the first thing we are going to do now is to assign, first of all, you say let a plus 5 be equal to any variable of your choice. Prefer to use p. So now we can now have p squared minus y squared, which is equal to sorry, let's have the p first, equals to p plus y and p minus y. So now we can substitute the value of p back into, this is p and this is the value of p. So let's just bring a plus 5 into this position over here and over here. So this will be equals to a plus 5 plus y and a plus 5 minus y. So if we leave it at this point, it's still correct, but let's have the alphabets come first. So this is a plus y plus 5 and a minus y plus 5. So at this point, none of the factors can be factored any further. So a plus y plus 5, a minus y plus 5. So since we can't factor this any further, then this is now the final answer to this question. And I hope it makes a lot of sense. All right, let's go on to the next question. Question 11. Now we have 9m squared plus 42m, open parenthesis, 3n plus 1, close parenthesis, plus 49, open parenthesis, 3n plus 1, close parenthesis, squared. So the first thing we are going to do in this question is to assign this to a specific variable. So let's let 3n plus 1 be equals to p. So once that is done, then the question automatically becomes 9m squared plus 42m p plus 49 p squared. So at this point, we can simply take the whole of this value and the whole of this value, just multiply them. So 9m squared times 49p squared, that is going to give you 441 m squared p squared. So at this point, we are going to find two factors of 441 such that if we add them together, we should have 42. So we need two factors of 441 such that their sum should be plus 42. So the two factors of 441 that can give us plus 42 is 21. So 21, let's make them positive and positive. So plus 21 times plus 21 is 441. And the sum of 21 and 21 is 42. So once that is done, then we have m squared here. So split it into 2, put one m here and one m on this side. And this is also p squared. Split it into 2, place one here, one p and one p. So now these two values plus 21 mp plus 21 mp, we are going to take it, just move it over here so that it can replace 42 MP. Okay, so just bring it here. And once that happens, then the equation automatically, or the expression, this is not an equation, it's an expression, so becomes 9m squared. Okay, since we are replacing plus 42mp with plus 21mp plus 21mp, so this will become 9m squared plus 21mp plus 21mp. Okay, so we have replaced plus 42mp with these two numbers, and then we can now as well add plus 49 p squared. Okay, so what we just did now is that we replaced plus 42mp with this. All right, good. So plus 21mp plus 21mp has replaced plus 42mp. All right, so we, instead of in this um, in this question here, we have just three terms, 1, 2, 3. But after replacing, this is plus, after replacing plus 42mp with these two numbers, we now have four terms. So we now have four terms here, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so whenever you have an expression with four terms, the best way to factor it is by factoring in twos. So you pick the first two terms and you factor them. So what we are going to do now is to factor these two numbers, these two terms, this and this. Let's factor 9m squared plus 21mp. All right, so now um, the GCF of 9m squared and 21mp would be 3m. All right, so we are writing the GCF outside now, and we can now divide 9m squared by the GCF. 9m squared divided by 3m plus 21mp divided by the GCF, which is 3m. Good. Over here, we also need to factor this. All right, so factoring them, for the first thing to find their GCF, and the GCF of 21mp and 49p squared would be plus 7p. Okay, so just open the parentheses and divide them, 21mp over the GCF, 7p plus 49p squared over the GCF, 7p, and then close the parentheses. So now 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. M divided by M is 1, and M squared divided by M will give you M. So over here, 3 divided by 3 is 1, into this is 7, and M can simply cancel M from here. And over here, 7 divided by 7 is 1, 21 divided by 7 is 3, and P can also cancel P from here. 7 divided by 7 is 1, 49 divided by 7 is 7, P divided by P is 1, and P squared divided by P is P. All right, so we can now write 3m open parenthesis, and we have 3m plus 7p. All right, so this 3m is this 3 and this m, so making 3m, and this 7 and this p make this 7p. All right, so plus 7p open parenthesis, so we have 3 and m here, so we can simply bring them here. 3m plus, we also have 7 and 1p here, so 7p close parenthesis. So now we can, you can see that we have 3 plus 7p here, 3 plus 7p, both of them in the parentheses. So we can simply write, just write them here, 3m plus 7p, and if you strike it from here, then you will be left with just 3m plus 7p. So just put them in parentheses and bring them here. 3m plus 7p. So you can see that you have the same value, which can now be written as 3m plus 7p squared. All right. Now remember that we assign a particular value to p. So let's just bring in that value now. So this will be equals to 3m plus 7. So let's open a parenthesis because this is 7p. So the value of p can be found. Let's just go back and see what we assigned to p. 3n. So this is the value of p here. 3n plus 1. Okay, so let's go back now. Okay, so let's just open a parenthesis. 3n plus 1 close parenthesis, and so this will be equals to, remember this is square, 3m plus 7 times 3n would be 21n, and 7 times 1 would be plus 7 squared. So the content of the parenthesis 3m plus 21n plus 7 cannot be factored any further. So this is the final answer to this question. I hope this makes some sense. All right, so let's go on to the next question. Question 12. For 4x squared plus 36x open parenthesis 7y minus 1 close parenthesis plus 81 open parenthesis 7y minus 1 close parenthesis squared. So the first thing we are going to do now is to assign 7y minus 1. You can see it appeared in two places, so we can assign that to a specific variable. And so let's say let 7y minus 1 be equal to p. Just pick any variable of your choice. I'm using p, it's my favorite. So this will become 4x squared plus 36x p, because I've replaced 7y minus 1 with p. So plus 81 p squared. So at this point we can take this value and this and just multiply them. So 4x squared 4x squared times plus 81p squared. That is going to give us 324 x squared p squared. So now we can find two factors of these such that the sum should be this. So the two factors of 324 that can give us 36 when added is 18. So we can simply write this as 18, 18, and since we have x squared, we can split it into two, x, and p squared, p and p. So make this positive and this positive. So if you multiply this now, you are going to have 324 x squared p squared, and if you add both of them, that's going to give you plus 36xp. So at this point, we are going to replace plus 36xp with these two terms. All right, so once that happens, then the expression automatically becomes 4x squared plus 18xp plus 18xp plus 81p squared. So now we have four terms: 1, 2, 3, 4. And the best way of factoring four terms is by taking them in twos. So let's take the first two, and the GCF of 4x squared plus 18xp would be 2 x. So let's just open a parenthesis and divide the first term by 2x, and then we have 18xp here divided by the GCF, which is 2x. Good. And then the second the other term, we have 18xp plus 81xp. So the GCF of 18xp and 81p squared would be plus 9p. So let's also divide 18xp by the GCF, 9p, and also 81p squared by 9p. So now if we do that, 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. X into x is 1, and x squared divided by x, we give on just 1x. 2 into 2 is 1. 18 divided by 2 is 9. And x can simply cancel x from here. And also 9 into 9 is 1. 18 divided by 9 is 2. And p will cancel p from here. 9 divided by 9 is 1. 81 divided by 9 is 9. And p divided by p is 1. And p squared divided by p will give us p. All right, so now we can now have 2x open parenthesis. So over here we have, this is 2 and this is x. All right, so this will become 2x plus, and we also have 9 here and 1p. So this would be plus 9p. Okay, plus 9p open parenthesis, and over here we have 2. This is 2 and this is x. So 2x plus, and we also have, this is 9 and this is p, 9p. So plus 9p. So if you look at the parentheses, we have the same value, 2x plus 9p, 2x plus 9p. So we can simply write that 2x plus 9p close parenthesis. So if we cancel them from here, then we are left with just we are left with 2x plus 9p. So let's put that in parentheses and just bring it closer to this. So 2x plus 9p. So you discover that we have the same term. Both of them are the same. So we can simply write this as 2x plus 9p squared. So now remember that we assign p to a particular value. So let's substitute the value back into this into the content of the parentheses. So this will become equals to open parentheses 2x plus 9. Instead of writing p, let's just open a parenthesis and bring back the value. So the value of p, okay, good. Look at p over here. All right, so 7y minus 1 is equals p. So let's return that back. 7y minus 1. All right, so p is 7y minus 1. 7y minus 1. Okay, good. And then squared. So this will be equals to 2x plus 9 times 7y will give us 63y, and 9 times negative 1 will give us negative y, so squared. So this is the final answer to this question, and I hope it makes some sense. All right, let's go on to the next question. Question 13. C minus 3 close parenthesis squared minus open parenthesis 2c minus 5 close parenthesis squared. So we are going to assign this to a specific variable and this to another variable. So let c minus 3 be equals to x and 2c minus 5 equals to y. So this will become y. Okay, let x comes first. X squared minus y squared. I know difference of squares will give you x plus y, x minus y. So we can now substitute the values of both x and y back into the parentheses. Let's bring them back here. All right, so this would be equals to c minus 3 plus 2c minus 5 and c minus 3. Because we have a negative sign here, because this is a negative sign, we are going to use a parenthesis here. So 2c minus 5. Good. So this will be equals to c plus 2c will give us 3c, and negative 3, negative 5 will give us negative 8. And over here we have c minus 3. So negative times 2c will give us negative 2c, and negative times negative 5 will give us positive 5. And this will be equals to 3c negative 8, and c minus 2c will give us negative c, and negative 3 plus 5 will give us plus 2. plus 2. Good. So we can simply rewrite this as 3c minus 8 and let the positive number come first. So this will become 2 minus c. So this is the final answer to this question, and I hope it makes some sense. All right, let's go on to the next question. Question 14. Over here we have d plus 6 in parentheses squared minus 4d minus 3 in parentheses squared. So the first thing we are going to do is to assign variable to this and a different variable to this because they are different values. So let d plus 6 be equals to x and 4d minus 3 be equals to y. And once that happens, then this will become x squared minus y squared, which is equal to difference of squares, x plus y, x minus y. So now let's bring in the values of x and y. This will become, look at the value of x here. So d plus 6, okay, plus this is the value of y, 4d minus 3, and also d plus 6. Since we have a negative sign, this is a negative, we are going to put the negative sign here and open a parenthesis before we can put in the values of y. So 4d minus 3 okay. So now over here we have, this is d plus 4d is 5d. So this will be 5d, and also we have plus 6 minus 3, that's going to give us plus 3, and here is d plus 6, negative times 4d is negative 4d, negative times negative 3 is positive 3. Five d plus 3. So now d minus 4d is negative 3d, negative 3d, and then plus 6 plus 3 is plus 9. So this would be 5d plus 3, and we can allow the positive number to come first, 9 minus 3d. So if you look at this term, if you look at this, it can be factored. We have the GCF of 3 there, so let's bring out the GCF. So this will be equals to 3, 5d plus 3, and now let's divide the first term, which is 9, divide 9 by the GCF, which is 3, and minus 3d, divide that by the GCF, and finally we are going to have 3, 5d plus 3, and then 9 divided by 3 is 3, minus 3d divided by 3 is d. So this is the final answer to this question, and I hope it makes some sense. All right, so this is all we can take for today. Please, if you find this video useful, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like the video, share the link with your friends, and also remember to click on the notification button. Thank you very much for your kind support. I'm looking forward to seeing you in our next video. Bye bye.